Okay, I've had this thing about a week. Got a chance to play around with it a little bit. Thought I'd do a quick video for anybody who's considering purchasing this thing. It's the California Air Tools 5510 SE Ultra Quiet Oil-Free Lightweight Air Compressor. It's a 1 horsepower air compressor with a 5.5 gallon steel tank. It's rated for 3.1 CFM at 40 psi and 2.2 CFM at 90 psi. The whole reason you would buy this compressor is not for the air performance, it's for the noise. It's a very quiet compressor. You could run it indoors or in the neighborhood and not bother anybody. Run it while babies are sleeping and such. The manufacturer's claim is that it's only 60 dB, which is pretty quiet. I mean, that's around talking volume, I think, maybe even a little bit below that. It accomplishes that by using a dual piston pump, so there's actually 2 pistons instead of 1, and running it at a lower RPM. It runs at 1680 RPM. Oh, and there's this stupid little plastic snorkel. Apparently that has something to do with it as well. If you take this off, it's louder. It's a lightweight compressor, only weighs 50 pounds. Really easy to pick up because it has a handle on both sides, which I love, which means when I move it around, I don't have to bang myself in the knee like with my other compressor. What I'm going to do is fly the camera around a little bit and just show off a couple of features of this thing, and then I'm going to do a charging test to see how long it takes to charge from empty, and I'm also going to do a sound comparison against my old portable oil-full compressor. Here's a quick look at the front panel on this compressor. Comes with 2 pressure gauges, regulator, pretty much your standard pressure switch, Chinese made. This one's a Le Fou. 1/4 inch quick connect. Not a lot to say. It's the same as every little compressor. We're looking underneath the compressor right now. One really nice feature is they come with this ball valve for bleeding the tank. I think most people know you're supposed to bleed an air compressor when you're done with it so that you don't get water sitting in it, doesn't cause rust, and doesn't cause the tank to explode. A lot of people don't bother because most of these cheap air compressors, and even nicer ones, come with a little plug or a bolt that you have to unscrew on the bottom, and that's the drain. A ball valve like this makes it a lot more convenient, and I think will mean that more people will drain their air compressor tank. This is nice, but let me show you what I think is even better. This is my old crappy compressor. I've got a bit of pipe and a ball valve installed on it with a bigger handle. This is nice because when I'm done using this compressor, I can just hook it with my foot, bleed the tank, kick it back closed. Even more convenient than the ball valve that's on the bottom of the California Air Tools, and I'll probably be installing something similar on that compressor at some point in the future. One thing I know people are going to be interested in is how well sealed is it? About 36 hours ago, I charged it all the way up to full, 120 psi, and I just left it sit. And now I'm recording this video, and as you can see from the pressure gauge, it's lost maybe 1 or 2 psi across 36 hours. Very well sealed from the factory. There's orange goop on every connection. I think they did a pretty good job with this one. If you leave it on all the time, I don't think it's going to be cycling because it leaks down all the time. Though I don't think that's really the intended use of this kind of compressor. Okay, the compressor is totally empty. I'm now going to charge it all the way up to the cutoff so you can see how long it takes to charge. And I'm going to try to put a little clock in the corner somewhere showing how long it's going to take to charge. And then once this is done, I'm going to put my other compressor up here in the exact same spot, same distance from the microphone, and I'm going to run it for a couple of seconds. I got my microphone set to a fixed sensitivity. I've got the auto gain off in the camera, and I'm going to record the 2, and then I'm going to flip back and forth between them quickly, and that should give you a really good idea of the difference in sound level between these 2 compressors. Okay, let's see how long it takes. Full charge from empty. Now I'm going to replace this with my other compressor, leaving the settings on the camera and everything exactly the same, and run it for a couple seconds. Okay, here goes my old Iron Horse compressor. Oh. Okay, I can tell from the meter on the camera that was way louder. I can also tell with my ears that it was way louder, but computer don't lie. Except when they're programmed to lie. Okay, well, that's the California Air Tools 5510 SE Ultra Quiet Air Compressor. What do I like about it? It's pretty lightweight. It's really easy to move around with two handles. Gauges and everything on here, even though it's all made in China, the fit and finish on it is real nice. It's quiet. It's way quieter than my old air compressor. It's oilless, so it's one less thing to worry about. Sometimes looking through the little sight gauge on the oiled compressors can be a pain in the ass, and you get froth in there and bubbles, and you can't really tell the oil level, so it's just a hassle that you don't need to worry about with this thing. What don't I like? Well, it does charge slower than my older compressor, and it's a little smaller. It's a 5.5 gallon. I'm coming back from a 6.3 gallon, and the CFM is much lower than my old compressor. This is not the air compressor that you'd get if you need to run high CFM tools. Obviously, you're not going to run a grinder on this thing or a sander or anything like that. One other thing to mention with this is I got a deal on it. Menards is running a special right now on these, so I got this one for under 150 bucks. By the time you watch this video, the Menards special is probably going to be over because it only runs through the 24th of December 2015. But Home Depot also has these on sale, and my plan is to basically just update the description down below. If I know of any deals going on with any of the tools that I review, I'm going to try to go back to old videos and keep those up to date. So whatever the description says down below should be the current good deal on this compressor. And if you know of a better place to get it, let me know. I'll update the description. Alright, well I think that about wraps it up.